Right, hello. We're going to bring you back for another run through of the vehicle. It's been over a year now since the last one, so I'm going to keep you a little bit up to date with the modifications. And like always, it's an ongoing project, so there's loads more to do to it. There's loads more to make it more usable, more day-to-day, comfortable, and just better in general, because it's an evolution, it's a project. Okay, so we're going to go through a few of the things that have made this, the vehicle that it is today. It's not everybody's cup of tea, I know that, and I know a lot of people either they love Land Rovers, hate Land Rovers. For me personally, this works well because it's not a day-to-day car, it's a secondary car, so it doesn't matter that it's slow and it's got more blind spots than Stevie Wonder. So what we've got a 1987 Battlefield ambulance. Okay, what I've done is basically I've ripped everything out the back of it. I've started again. This is the third layout of the campervan kind of layout in the back, and it's working quite well now. Other things that I've done include more off-road suspension, so it doesn't have the handling characteristics it did when it came out of the factory. It's much better, it's far better off-road, it's proper off-road suspension. I've also gone for the bigger wheels and tyres. It's the same rolling diameter, but it's a lot wider, chunkier offset wheel, so that helps out as well. On the front, we've got the utility board, winch and bumper, which that's going to get changed eventually. I'd like something like an Equip or an ARB style bumper. Definitely want to update the winch because it's a more old one and heavy one. There's better technologies and synthetic ropes now, but again, this is just an evolution as overtime comes in. Other things, one of the best things that I've ever done for this vehicle is the lighting. Okay, so we've got the upgraded smoked LED side lights and indicators. We've also got the high-end LED headlights. The LED headlights, the cheap 45 quid jobs on eBay are 10 times better than Land Rover lights. These expensive ones are 10 times better than the cheap eBay lights. It's a minefield of which ones you go for, and it's hard to tell which ones are the 45 quid ones that people are charging 200 quid for, because a lot of them are the same lights and people are just chancing it. Okay, other things that I've done. We've gone from a V8 petrol that was on LPG as well to a 200 TDI diesel that will run on diesel, cooking oil and a whole host of other things, purely because I like to wade through water. V8s don't like water. It's also gone from around 8 miles to the gallon to between 22 and 27 miles to the gallon, which I don't think is too bad at something that weighs in at 3,300 kg and it's got an automatic gearbox. It'll quite easily cruise at 65-70 on the motorway. The only downside is I have got a massive flat spot with the auto box between, say, 45-50 and around 55, just the way that the 4-speed box kind of comes in. Right, so that's pretty much the front end. So a lot of people ask me about the 2 snorkels. That started because changing the engines, and it's just the way it landed, and there's no point taking one off and leaving holes. The symmetry thing I kind of like. Okay, so yeah, that's what supplies the air for the 200 TDI. I've had it over the bonnet deep in water, no issues whatsoever. Okay, we've got some tools on the front, quick access, things to get to without filthy in the back and filling your load space up. It's items that can get stolen, I know that, but they've been on there years and I've had no dramas so far. Okay, what else have I done? As you can see from the front, got the solar panel on there. We'll come to that in a few minutes. And then the most obvious thing is the paint job and the actual vehicle itself. Yes, it stands out like a sore thumb, and people are going to go on about, oh wow, people are going to take your stuff if they know you've got it. And it's like, well, if it gets to the point where someone's going to chance having a go at me to try and get my stuff off me, pretty much any vehicle's good game. Any vehicle with a snorkel, any vehicle with off-road tyres, any commercial vehicle that looks like it has something of use in the back of it. So it's a kind of redundant argument if it gets to that bad that you're going to chance it. Okay, so we've got light bars and things on. I mean, that's just standard for 4x4s these days. I live in a country where for a good 3-4 months of the year we get very little daylight during the day, so most of what you do on a night and a weekend and stuff, you're going to need illumination. So we've got the big light bar up top. I used to have the Oxbeam light bar on. I need a new home for that because I want one of them sun visors to attach it to that. And then I've also got side small lights that illuminate either side for setting up camp or just looking in fields as you're driving past. And we've got the rear light bar on the back. So 360-degree lighting. I find that very important and it comes in very handy. So a few other little things. So we've got The little side steps that are on at the minute, these are going to come off at some point because I want a box section sill with a rock slider that comes out and protects this. That's high on the list, so you can jack off it, things like that, and it also gets them lower ones that I do catch quite regularly off-road. Things I need to upgrade. I need to upgrade the mirrors. I've seen some bigger mirrors that get the blind spot mirror on them. That's an upgrade that's on the list. And as you can see here, it's not that obvious, but it's also got 360-degree cameras on it. This is more for the blind spots because the mirrors don't really see a great deal. This shows you if there's anyone in the blind spots on either side. I've got one on the front with infrared as well, so you can drive with your lights off in the woods, one on the rear as well. That's going to get upgraded very soon to a more domestic kind of setup. I'm going to attach that to a DVR in the back, which will give me a 360-degree dash camera, and it'll also be a much better night vision picture. And I'm going to have an IR spot on the front as well, so it gives an even longer range infrared. Okay. I have had it before where I've got the window covers before people say, oh well, you can see the windows and the reflective surfaces even with that paint job. It's like, yes, I have got canvas covers for all the glass and all the lights as well, so that is covered before anyone pulls me on that. Up top we've got a mod kit awning that Andy's made for me. This comes out to this kind of level and then comes either down or to another section. It is quite heavy, however it is XMOD canvas, repurposed, and it is bomb-proof strong. Because one thing I would say, if you're doing this year round, doing the camping, doing the bushcraft, doing the bug out thing, you're going to need stuff that's a bit tougher. Okay, you all know what happened with me 270-degree tough track awning that just disintegrated and fell to bits. Stuff like that, it looks great in catalogues, it looks great on the internet, it just doesn't last for British weather and being outside. So yeah, we're going to that one now. On the side as well, we've got some recovery tracks. These, it's one of them things, you'll use them once in a blue moon, but when you do need them, it is that tool that gets you out of it. As daft as it is, it could just be you flex it out. You just need that little bit more traction, you bang one of them under, you're away again. It saves getting the winch out, so they weigh next to nothing, and it was a good excuse to have a drop down table, which that drop down table is an awesome modification. Anything where you're under cover from the weather, you've got a nice flat surface, you can do your cooking on it, saves getting everything inside with condensation, all that lot. It just makes life really, really nice, really, really easy. So the rear of the vehicle, this is a lot about my mindset, okay? I can't remember the last time I actually did a tyre in, one that I couldn't repair anyway, so it's always good to have a spare, isn't it? So we've got the spare wheel, but then the problem is, if you do your spare wheel in, you haven't got a spare anymore. So we have two, so I've got a spare for the spare. Quite common now in the UK, there's a lot of walkers that are just horrible human beings, and what they'll do is they'll put spikes in the puddles on the green lanes, because even though they've got tens of thousands of miles of public footpaths that only they can go on, they're bitter about 4x4s using byways and actually getting out into the countryside, so they're boob trapping the paths, the byways. So what's happening, you roll in and you'll do all four tyres. So if we go out with a few vehicles, at least I've got half the tyres I need to replace on this vehicle, and then with any luck with the rest of the vehicles that we've got, we'll run the same size wheels and tyres, so we've got more spares. I do also carry a vehicle first aid kit with tyre repair kits, things like that in it, but it's a lot easier to just put another wheel on and worry about that when you're back at camp. Okay, as you can see, I've got the Armadillo 1.4 awning. This is, I'd probably say it's about 10 years old now. Cracking bit of kit. It's showing its age, but the bits that have failed on it and bits that have broken on it, the only bits that I have broken on it is the plastic little rings. I think it was about -5. And I was swinging off it, the plastic's freezing cold, it's brittle, snapped it, my own stupid fault. But other than that, it's kind of weathering well for its age. Again, we've got the camera and we've got the light bar. We've got more covers for windows and things, bit of extra security. We've got 3 sets of locks on the rear door. We'll open this up now. We've got the camp cover, I suppose you call it a trasheroo. All I keep in here is put a bit of firewood in there, and I'll also keep some fishing gear and bits, and do chuck all the rubbish and stuff in. Behind here, I've got the big kinetic ropes. Not everybody's a fan of kinetic. but when you're dealing with this kind of weight, I find kinetic works very, very well once you know how to use it. When you kind of roll out, and as you get to the end of the stretch, just put the brakes on and it just pulls the other vehicle out. Recovery is one of them things where everybody's got their own take on it, but again, I do my thing and it works for me. On the rear as well, we've got the LED lights at the bottom. I've got another set of LED lights to go high level. We've got the NATO tow hitch. That's not standard on this vehicle, but it has been put on where the step used to be. That's now a storage box for a load of my kit. And then we've got the tow hitch there. That's it can tow a trailer. I'd prefer not to though, because I'm already up in the weight on the vehicle, and as well as that, I can't really see a lot behind this thing, so I'm not overly keen on it. When I had the 110, loved it. This not so much. So inside the vehicle, I've tried to make this a little bit more livable now. So what we've done, we've got the more modern dashboard that came with the vehicle. This is after 2003 TD5 dashboard, which I'd rather have had an older one, because then I'd have had more options with what I could do with the centre console, but it is what it is. I've gone for the Raptor top switch panel, the Raptor switch panel that goes over the centre console, and the Raptor engineering cubby box, because it's strong, it's locally produced, and it's good quality. I can't fault it. It's not the cheapest stuff in the world, but I think it's cheap for the quality that you get, if that makes sense. So yeah, it's one of the items that you buy once and it just works, so I can't complain at that. I've got the Mazda RX-8 bucket seats in. These are electric heated seats, because I'm 6'3", 19 stone. I don't want to be on a little Landrover seat doing this. With it being automatic as well, it's very, very good that you can just kind of lazy down into your chair, lean on the cubby box, and it goes through the gears, does its own thing. You're not pumping away at that Land Rover clutch. It's just a nice drive for what it is. Okay, again, you can see we've got the light bars here, camera here. Again, I've got another awning up here. It's not so much an awning, it's more of just a canvas tarp that can either be rolled down to cover this glass up, or it can be brought out as another awning for somebody else, or put between two vehicles. Live in a wet country, dry space is at a premium, so that's all three sides with the dry space underneath. Right, so when it comes to the rear of the vehicle, you can see this opens up here. When you've got the awning out, this actually makes quite a decent space. To this side here, we've got a LPG instant water heater. This pumps out some lovely shower water. In the camp cover storage here, got the towel, deodorants, you know, your ablutions kit. Okay, so that's everything I need to keep myself clean. Wash the dog down, what have you. Again, here, can't have enough flat space for storage. Got more stuff that we can either do the washing up on, something like that, or just generally put your stuff on, have a shower, whatever you want to do. Okay, if the weather's turned, you can always make that a cooking station, whatever you want, because we all know the wind change, the rain comes in from a different angle. You've got options, and options is something that I like. So on this side here, low level, we've got all the hand tools and things for the vehicle when you need to work on it. Get this door open, access to all your tools. Straight away here, we've got a socket set. We've got a vehicle first aid kit with things like your gasket sealant, your hose repair kits, tyre repair kits, anything that you're going to kind of run into off the trail just to keep you going that bit longer. Okay, socket set, jump leads, spare oils, spare bits of pipe. I carry spare pipes. I carry a spare hose kit, spare belt kit, and I also carry spare hose that you can make do with stuff. Loads of bolt kits of various sizes, Jubilee clips, anything that you can use to bodge or make do to keep the vehicle going. Okay, so from this side we've got the big water tank. This eventually, I don't like where it's at, and it's also a premium space here just in the door. That's going to get moved further forward, which is better for the off-road handling and on-road handling. It's going to get custom made into a size where it'll still have the same literage, which is around, I think it's about 70 litres in that one. It'll still be the same size, but it'll be tucked away in front of the axle, and it'll also give me back a lot more storage space just here. Woody wood prepper fire pit, because not everywhere you go you can have a fire, and you don't always want to leave a trace, so awesome piece of kit. I've had that years now. As we go along to this side, we've got another water butt, one of the Ridge Monkey ones. This is what started me off with the Ridge Monkey kind of fad that I've got going on. I've had that years and it still keeps going. Cast iron cookware for the group, big stainless cookware for the group. I've got a portaloo for when my daughter comes out, because little girl don't want to be peeing up against a tree or stuff, so she's got that there. And that's pretty much the garage space in the back. Right, so now we're coming down to why I chose this vehicle. Okay, originally I've had several different vehicles that I've used. One of my favourites, 300 TDI Japanese import Discovery. So it was an older vehicle, but because it's a Jap import, it's like a brand new car, and it was awesome. It worked really well, just didn't use it enough to warrant having a car style 4x4. The 110 was an awesome bushcraft truck, and the hard shell caravan that I made on the Sankey, that kind of change, it was a game changer. Okay, because I go out all year round and things get wet, I got sick of the canvas having to air it out, open it all up. What I wanted was a quick deployable warm dry space with all my kit already in, so I can get home from work on a Friday and effectively bug out. All I was doing, everything's already hooked up, just pull straight out the drive, pick some bread up, pick some milk up, pick some bacon up, and I'm away. And that's all I needed to do. Everything else was already in it, so that started me on something. Then from there I got offered this vehicle off of a friend, and it basically gave me that bit more space and without having to tow as well. So although this isn't the greatest to drive around town, once you're on the motorway it's fine, and when you off-roading it takes more effort. However, it comes into its own when you go, right, how long does it take to set up your camp? Let's time this, right? Go. Stop. That's it. That is it. Literally walk up these stairs, turn the master power socket on, the back's live, everything's ready to go. You can sit down, you can put the telly on, got a smart telly in there, fridge has got cold beers in it, can put the diesel heater on, so you've got heat. Life's good. Okay, let's have a look inside. Right, so about a fair way through this video now, so I just want to say a thank you to the Patreons, and as a bit of a thank you back, we're going to do a giveaway. Okay, while we're at the meet, we'll be there right now if you're not already there. What I'm going to do is get someone to draw a name out of a hat, and we've got one of the small keyring Olights to give away. Next month going to do quite a big giveaway. It's about an £80 torch. This video, Olight, they've said that what they'll do is, if I do a giveaway, let them know who's won it. They're going to send out one of the awesome, the bigger head torches and the keyring torch. So massive thanks to Olight for chucking that in, because it's something I want to give more back, you know, to the people that are helping with this channel, making it grow. Okay, so in return for them giving an £80 torch, I'm just going to let you know that this weekend, Black Friday sale, there's a link in the description. Click on that. There's massive sales on at the minute. Just to give you an idea, there's 50 quid off the Seeker 2 Pro. If you get the bundle, which that's normally 170 quid worth of torches, that's £67 off. That's a good chunk of money off. Not only that, if you're getting stuff this weekend, you also get the you get a free gift of another one of the small torches. So yeah, there's some absolutely banging deals on at the minute. There's 20 odd quid off the head torches this weekend, so you've seen me using it more and more. I've still got the cheap torches, but however, you know, since I've got the Olight ones, they're very expensive, but for ours they're expensive. It's that next level of engineering and stuff. You've seen I've got the M2R Warrior, awesome bit of kit. You know, you've got the tactical thumb grip, you've got the normal light, you can choose whichever ones. We've now got the head torch one, got the everyday carry, the baton one. Again, the reason I like these is the tough, I can't kill these. It's got all the different features on. Okay, so you've got all the different levels of lights. They've got built-in timers, so you can have it hung up in your tent, turns itself off. And again, you can go into the vehicle, that's it, that's now on charge. Pull it off, it's off charge. That's my biggest thing with these, because I'm not a fan of changing batteries in torches, and to have an easy charge where you just hold it near it and it clips on, you can't beat that. So I hope you don't mind this bit of corporate advertising, but like I say, they've been good enough to say that they'll they'll give away one of the torches. I'll do the draw next month on the Patreon. So if you're on the Patreon, you're going to be in there. Obviously, the more that you pledge each month, the more entries you're going to get. It's just a thank you, because the Patreons are paying for the camera. Well, they're not paying for the camera gear, but they're taking the sting off of it. It's a pot where I get better and better gear to make better and better videos. So it's higher quality picture, higher quality editing gear, and I'm getting out more and more, making better videos. So with that investment that they've got in me and helping me with the channel, I want to give a bit of something back. So like I say, they'll be at the meet. We'll draw this out of the hat. That's going to go to one of yous, and then next month is the big Olight one, where, like I say, it's best part of an 80 quid torch. So yeah, big thank you, and then we'll see from there if there's any other suppliers or something that the following month will be another giveaway, and we'll give them a shout out in return. They give something to one of the Patreons. So awesome, thanks for that. I know nobody likes the corporate bit, but what I'm learning is I've either got to keep paying it out of my own pocket all the time, out of the hours that I'm working, that I should be spending that on the house, my family, whatever. So it's one of them things. To give back to the Patreons that are helping out no end, you know, there's your little bit of corporate plug. Right, so before we go in, this is the space when you're round camp, okay? So instead of having to go in and rummage through a cupboard, a storage tub, something like that, all this camp cover gear, you've got your go-to items straight away, okay? So we've got knife sharpening and extra illumination, we've got some sweet bits and stuff there, we've got some can openers, the things that people want to borrow, we've got teas, coffee, sugars, other drinks, got sun cream and things for when the sun actually comes out in England. So for the one day a year, we've got sun cream, keys, miscellaneous things, pellets, stickers if anybody wants stickers, that kind of thing. Got my Olight to hand just here. Got some cleaning stuff because, you know, like Shell Island, we're dragging sand in all the time. General things like paracord, odds and sods, charging leads. It's just your go-to kind of stuff. Okay, then as we make our way in, let's have a little look. Right, so as you get into the vehicle, you can kind of get it now, okay? So I'm sat here now on a C-section seating, okay? This makes up the bed as well. It's not ideal at 6 foot, I think it's just shy of 6 foot wide, this vehicle. I'm 6'3", so I don't quite fit that way. However, with it being a double bed, I can sleep diagonally, so it's no big issue. And as well as that, I did have the longer bed down one side, which was awesome, but once that bed's out, I couldn't get in any of my cupboards. Now, once the bed's out, I can actually get in all the cupboards, I can still cook, I can still get in the fridge, it just works. It's a far better layout. Just down here, we've got the blow air diesel heater outlet. All the warm air, it just comes out under the bed, blows round, gets a nice circulation, it's decent. What else we got? So we've got lighting above the bed, we've got lighting all the way around, and supplementary green zombie lighting. Which it's just for when I'm around camp. I have the green lighting on, so when you're in and out, it doesn't kind of kill your night vision too much. Used to be red, I've got a red one above there for late evenings, but that's it. We've got charging points and volt gauge above the bed, so I can have everything on charge. Yeah, it's coming together nicely. It is just working. I'm gonna probably put some storage down this wall here. Again, just with like clothing, things like that, things that you just want to get to without having to dig through a cupboard. I've gone a little bit smarter just because I spend a lot of weekends a year in it. I know a lot of people want to keep to very minimalist kit and things, but I've got a 7-year-old daughter. She likes to come out, she'll snuggle up on here, she'll get a blanket over her, she'll put the telly on and she'll watch a film with the heater on while I'm doing my thing around the camp. She's comfortable. It makes this a nice place to be when you're in the woods, when you're on a campsite, when it's -5 outside. It's not bad, and that's what it's all about. It's that comfort. And I don't think the comfort in any way has compromised the ability to get off-road, get down lanes. Some of the places I've taken this, like I say, bonnet deep in water, over articulations, it goes well. One of the jobs is getting the locking rear axle on and the limited slip front diff, which will make it more capable again, but as time goes on, they're jobs that are going to get done. Also looking at a more powerful engine, looking at a 6-cylinder 3-litre diesel, which should transform this and just give it that little bit more torque. Don't need it to go any faster, I just want to have the torque to give it the power to go up the hills at the same speed without kind of losing that momentum. Okay, let's have a look at a few more items. So one of the things that I'm on with at the minute, that I'm just messing with, we'll bring you down a little bit. Excuse the bed setup. It's really damp this time of year, so I don't want it in the overhead locker, so I'm airing that out. Okay, we've got a pull out metal thing here, and I've got a table that just clips on, so I'm going to do the live chats and everything off this soon. As well as that, we can sit, have a civilised meal, which again, it's been comfortable in the field. You don't always want to be outside in -5 or rain. Again, the table comes off, you've seen everything stows away, and this space here where my legs are, the table drops in, gives a double bed, and it is a decent night's sleep. So we've got the twin burner hob, we've got the sink with the pumped water, we've got the lighting above, overhead storage, lower storage. This is the garage that you could see from the rear door. So we've got the switch controls there with more charging points. Got the locker there with clothes and stuff in. The locker there, we've got a Ridge Monkey shelf, and then right down at the bottom we've got the battery bank. Across we've got a, I think it's about 42 litre Snowmaster fridge. Love that to bits. Put a cushion on top, so then we can either have people sat there facing this way while there's people sat over here talking, or sat there while something's cooked. Large window, but we don't really need that, and like I said, smart telly and storage behind it. That's purely for little 'un. We've got the 100 watt panel, which at peak it's around 5.5 amp. I've gone for this one here purely because, as you can see now, if we do this, look where the sun is. It's that low that on the roof that won't get a thing. I don't like having it where it all folds up and down. I might have that eventually, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a supplementary panel, about a 300 watt on the roof flat for the better times of year, but this is more directional. This vehicle's parked facing south, so it's constantly charging the rear batteries up, so it works for me. And I know I get the usual internet people going, "Ah, well, you're going to get stone chips and damage and things like that," and these are people that drive a Corsa and have never done it. That's been up there, well, the original one was up there years, no issue whatsoever, so yeah, that's not a problem. The cables come in, not cheaped out with cheap cables. You've got to have decent cables when it comes to solar. This then comes up into the solar controller, and I've also got an additional unit in the back to give me a better readout of what's going on. That's not fitted yet, but that is ready to go. Okay, as you can see now, not even facing the sun, and it's banging power in. So in the back, what we've got is we've got 250 amps of leisure battery. We've got the C-Tech controller, so if I'm near mains I can plug in and that trickle charges as well as, and then we've got all the outputs and everything that go off that. A little bit higher up we've got the Ridge Monkey cupboard with all the cook gear for outside, and yeah, that's about it. There you have it, there's my vehicle. Like I say, it's not for everybody, but for me it works really well all year round. You know, we've got a warm, dry place to stay in the back. We've got all the electricity we need. We've got all the capabilities off-road that I personally need. I know there's better vehicles off-road, I know there's worse vehicles off-road. With it being a second vehicle, it works awesome. If this has been any of use to you, you know, let us know. If there's any questions that you've got, because I've only given a very brief overview of this, because otherwise it'd be a 2-hour long video while I go into my Landrover geek spiel of everything. Give us a shout in the comment if there's something I've not covered. If you just want to whine about how it's not the best vehicle compared to your Corsa that you drive, then yeah, that's you get them. So yeah, it's an ongoing evolution. There's a lot of work to do to it. There's a lot of other options out there. That's what I use, that's what works for me. So appreciate that. Give us a thumbs up, give us a comment, let us know what you think. Like I say, if you can have a look at the Olight link down below, that helps out the channel and the Patreons. There's other links on there. I'm going to put a little Amazon link on. If you want to buy anything for Christmas, whether it's that item or not, click on the Amazon link in the description and shop from there, and Amazon does some weird witchcraft thing which costs you nothing, but I'll get a few pennies from that, and it all goes into a pot. And it's one of them things. I'd rather do it on all these big corporate things where they sort of square away with a couple of quid here and there than putting big adverts on all over the place and that kind of thing, because I want to try and make this channel work this year, but at the same time this channel costs thousands to put together, so I'm trying to work out how to do it. Okay, I'll say thank you once again for checking out everything, and I'll see you on the next one.